All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. We are switching things up a little bit today. So it's kind of fun. We got, as always, some fun technical stuff going on in the background. But we are going to kick things off while the guys get that sorted out. And this is the last Hump Day Hangouts of 2020. So if you hated 2020, that's great. It's on its way out. If you had an okay time, that's great. Time to celebrate a good year. And regardless, like I said, this is going to be the last one. This is episode 320. It is the 30th of December, 2020. And we are going to get to your guys' questions. We got a few announcements. I don't know about you, if you're watching, or the guys here today. I had a pretty good Christmas. It was nice. I'm tired of being stuck inside, but I'm happy that at least the world didn't end and we've got 48 hours. So hopefully I didn't jinx myself here, 24 hours. But we're going to get into it and say hi to everyone real quick, and then we'll dive into it. So I'm just going to go clockwise here. Marco, you're first on the list here. How you doing today? Costa Rica still kicking?
Costa Rica still sunny, still warm. Can't help it. What's up, man? And I just realized I don't say this enough. Fuck Google. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I need to say that more often because the type of results we're getting, man, are ridiculous. They're ridiculous and they're being shared. I'm sharing in our free groups and Facebook. Check us out, guys. I'm sharing images. The how-to is only shared in the Heavy Hitter Club using all of our methods, all of Semantic Mastery's methods put together, whatever's available in mgyb.co. That's how we're doing it. That's how we're getting results. That's how we're killing it. That's how we're taking a brand new GMB or a brand new SEO shield, G-Site, Drive Stack, and getting results within 30 days. That's how, with our method. It's that simple. And I know it's simplistic and you guys want something that's more complex.
Yeah,
so
Marco, it's not sexy enough, man.
I know. Shiny. Oh, wait a minute. Let me take. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. That's not sexy enough either. But man, I don't know what else to say. Anyway, the charity webinars are coming up. Getting it all set up, getting everything finalized. I'll put the donations page on the chat, guys, and on the page so that it's available. All you have to do is donate, then send a copy of your donation to the Gmail address that's posted, and we will take care of you. You will get an invitation to that webinar and all of the following webinars. A further donation, and you can have access to the prior recordings, and so you can see everything, how everything that we've been telling you for the past 3-4 years has come to pass. How everything we've been saying, this is what's going on, this is what's going to be happening, and this is what's going on from here. You can see it here in Hump Day Hangouts. Like every week, we're telling you, entity-based, worryless SEO. We don't worry about Google of this. We don't care about Google. We just go and apply our methods. I don't know. It's not sexy. It's not difficult. It's not complex. It doesn't require much thinking. All it requires is for you to go and buy. Imagine that. But here's the thing. When they're working with complexity and getting you into that mode where you don't really understand it, but it sounds so good that you have to buy it. Well, guess what? You just bought anyway. You probably bought something that's not going to work, so you'll be buying something else and something else and something else. Rather than do that, go and buy the shit that's working. That's all I got to say.
Fair enough. All right. And I'm just going to hop down, Marco. I think we'll come back and remind people what they need to do for the charity webinars, but we'll circle back around to that. Bradley, how you doing today? Why aren't we seeing your face?
I'm at my favorite campground in Trailhead with some friends. We're bringing in the new year riding ATVs for the next 3 days. And so I'm on limited bandwidth because I'm tethered through my mobile phone. So that's why I'm not running my video, because I don't want to make audio choppy. But I'm so ready to give 2020 the middle finger on the way out. So Marco said, fuck Google. I say, fuck 2020. But
well, did you have good holidays?
I did. I had a really good time. My daughter, she's in fact, it's crazy. My daughter's 15 and a half. And on Monday, which was the 28th, she took her learner's permit test for her driver's license, and she passed. So the next time I have her, which is next weekend, we're going to go start driving. So I'm going to start teaching my daughter how to drive. So that's a pretty big milestone.
Yeah, that's nuts. I think when we started doing this, your daughter was like 9, and I think like she was in the background or something a couple times. So I was like, that's nuts to hear that stuff, man.
Yeah, anyway. She's a young woman now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, Chris, how are things going in Austria?
Doing good. Ate too much bacon here. But yeah, I guess everybody had too much food over Christmas. Other than that, it was pretty good. We had a bit of a bigger storm yesterday. I think 140 kilometers per hour. Not sure how many miles that is, but like it was quite a night. Other than that, doing pretty good here. Weather is good now again, and yeah, only thing that I'm missing is like the slopes.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how long it takes that they let us out there.
Last but not least, Hernan, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm excited to be here. Excited for 2021. We have some good stuff coming up. Definitely, excited for that. 2020 was really good. Like, honestly, despite all the craziness, we were able to keep going with Semantic Mastery. We were able to keep serving you guys. So that was a big win, at least in my opinion. A lot of people were struggling and a lot of people were trying to figure out stuff, but, and we weren't short of obstacles and challenges and everything else, but I think it was a pretty good year. And I'm really looking forward for 2021. So thank you guys for supporting us throughout this entire year. For all of you guys watching, for all of you guys subscribing, going to the sites, sharing and all of that. Thank you. And yeah, see you guys in 2021. Really excited for that.
Awesome.
Right on.
Well, before we get into it, like I said, we got a couple of short announcements. I just put it on the page. If you're watching the replay, it may not still be in effect, but you can always go to semanticmastery.com/HD questions to find out what I'm talking about here. And what I did was drop the links to both Semantic Mastery and MGYB. We got some awesome holiday deals going on. I'm not going to sit here and run down the list, but there are a lot of really good deals. Let me pull this up. I think, we've got up to 40% discounts going on with limited time. This is going to be over in 2 to 3 days. So if you're interested in checking that out, again, both for Semantic Mastery and MGYB, check that out. And then you can always head over to heavyhitters.club to find out more about Heavy Hitters Club. Marco, let's kind of loop back to you. If people are interested in either donating or the charity webinars, which they have to donate to go to anyways, what do they need to do?
Well, I've posted the link to the donation page. Just scroll down or just look for it. I posted it also last week. You go there, you donate, and I'm going to say it again. Your heart is going to tell you whether you donate. If you're moved to donate, then your wallet is going to dictate how much. I never set an amount. I never say you must donate this much. I just do whatever you can. $5 is a cup of coffee, guys. Right? $5 is a cup of coffee. How many cups of coffee do you drink a week that you don't really have to? You just don't have something better to, so you go grab a cup of coffee, right? But you can't do that, right? You can't go to the local Starbucks like you used to. But I mean, think of the things that where you spend $5 on, $10 on, where that can make a really big difference towards like taking a kid off the streets, away from drugs, away from prostitution, away from the fucking pimps and the drug dealers and all that shit, and get them on their road to POFA, because we can put them, we can place them if they get through the whole program at a good paying job, a good paying tech job, right? And not managers, because they're overloaded with managers, but they need the people who can actually do the work, who connect the systems, put everything together, actually connect the wires. Like, you can have 10 managers standing around, they're all watching that one guy up there. Oh, look, that looks really good, but somebody has to get up there and do it. And the manager sure as fucking not gonna get up there and do it. And so they get paid really well. These are good paying jobs that we get them into, great training. Some have started even their own companies from this, doing this, right, for small businesses. So it mushrooms, and then the people who are successful, we bring them back to the community so that they're community leaders, so that the young children can see them. They can see, oh, fuck, there's another way to do this. I don't have to follow the pimp or the drug dealer, and I don't have to do that. I don't have to live that lifestyle. There's something else that I can look forward to. And yes, we do lose a lot of them, right? I'm not gonna say we don't. like 9 out of 10. But I'm not focusing on the losses because like we did everything that we could for that. Focusing on that one that we can save, and then hopefully, like next time it can be 2 out of 10, and then next time maybe it can be 3 out of 10. So the struggle is real. These people have absolutely nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Literally choosing. I said this before, between buying soap so they can wash their hands and maintain their hygiene, or buying rice to have something to eat. If you had that fucking choice, I mean, think about this. Christmas just passed. I said this also. There are people who won't tell their children that Christmas just passed, or that it was Christmas, because they have nothing to give their children. So you're left with that, with the choice of not being able to tell your children, yeah, it's Christmas, and other people are getting presents, and other people are eating and having fun, but we don't have shit, so we can't celebrate shit. It's real, man. It's real. It's fucking rough, man. So if it's in your heart to donate, please go donate. And the way that we give back is we not only give these great webinars where we tell you exactly what's working right now and what will be working. We give away great prizes. You guys volunteered your time. You guys are going to give what do you call it? An hour of your time for whatever these people need. I know that you personally, Adam, donated your time to helping someone set up their email series and getting all that together. Bradley volunteered. I know Hernan volunteered, and so did Chris, and I'll volunteer my time. And all of the other people who are coming on will also volunteer. So there is that. I mean, if you do it just for the chance to win one of those prizes, the more power to you. Do it for that reason and that reason only. But donate.
Sounds good. Yeah, and if you're not watching this live, again, just come over to semanticmastery.com/HD questions and get the links there, everything there in case you can't find it. And worst case scenario, you can always shoot an email to support@semanticmastery.com. Hit us up, ask what you need to know, and we will get you hooked up. So I'm not sure who's driving the questions today, but I'm going to hand this off. We are going to dive into the questions, and had a drink delivered to me on the side here. So cheers to everyone on the call as well as watching. Hope the rest of the remainder of your year goes well.
Hernan, I'm going to ask for you to share the screen and scroll through questions if you don't mind.
For sure. Let me close all of the stuff that I had. Yeah. All of the inappropriate stuff. Okay, so
it's not safe for work stuff.
Yeah, we'll need to add an R for mature type stuff on the okay, so I need to prove I'm not a robot. All right,
you can also just share a browser tab or like a separate browser.
Yeah, that too. But no, that's not gonna.
Oh, it's not letting you see the comments because of Minute Chat. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So okay. So I think it's up. All right. Yeah. So let me share my screen now. Okay. Cool. You guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right.
Can you make it bigger?
Yes.
Sweet. All right.
Let's
where are we at? Okay, back down just slightly. I think we're close. Right there. G-Fall.
G-Fall. All right. There we go.
Okay, so he says, hey guys, I purchased an SEO shield from you guys and did some citation building along with a GMB and website. We just added a new location with a new verified GMB for the new location in a different city. Do I need to add to the current SEO shield or purchase one for the new location? Great question. Use the RYS expansion, right? So if you go to mgyb.co, go to the store, and you'll see the RYS expansion. That's what you want to use, because for multi-location businesses, there's a couple of different ways to do it. I'm going to tell you how I prefer, and then I would love to hear Marco's commentary about what he thinks. But the way that I do it is the SEO shield should be like, when you order an SEO shield, I always order an SEO Power Shield for a new project for the brand itself, right? So that's going to establish the entity and the Google Stack, the G site, all of that for the main brand itself. And then for every top level silo, right? So whatever silos your sites have. So again, for service area businesses, typically you're going to have silos for whatever your services are. And that's the type of businesses that I deal with. But there's also location. There can be location silos depending on how you structure your site. But for every one of whatever silos that it is that I'm doing, I always use an RYS expansion, because that becomes a subfolder of the primary DriveStack branded folder, right? So again, we talk about this at Semantic Mastery all the time, theme mirroring, right? Theme mirroring was a term coined by Network Empire originally, but what that means is whatever the structure is of your primary website, you want to mirror that with your DriveStack, your G site, and everything else that you do, right? We talk about that with blog posts, GMB posts, press releases, all of that. But just getting back to the DriveStack itself. So for every topical silo or service-based silo, if it's a service area business, you're going to want an RYS expansion, right? And then also for every location, the same thing. So when you order, like if you have a multi-location business, then I have several that I work with. And so what I do is set up the brand, the original RYS stack for the brand. And to be honest, I don't even worry about an association with a single keyword on the front end anymore for multi-location businesses. I just set up the branded stack originally. And then I go in and set up or order additional RYS expansion stacks for every topical silo or location silo, or both. I do it for both. Let's be clear. So in other words, for service-based silos, which would be like, again, for tree services, I talk about tree removal, tree trimming. Those are the like two primary silos for a tree service business. So I have an RYS expansion, one targeting the tree removal keyword set and one targeting tree trimming keyword set. And then if I have multiple locations, so let's say I've got 5 locations, every location will have an additional RYS expansion stack targeted for that particular location. And when you place that order, it'll give you, it gives you the opportunity to enter your NAP details, right? Name, address, and phone number. So location details for that. And that becomes a subfolder of the primary brand. That's the way that you want to do it. There's also the location shield. I think that's slightly different. I don't typically use that for multi-location businesses because that creates a separate G site for the location. And what we have, and again, Marco's going to come up and give his input on this as well. But what I've learned from Marco and Rob is to use the primary branded asset, the G site and the RYS stack, as the main source, right? Like the primary source of power, and everything else that you build within that stack should be a subfolder, right? So essentially connected to that. So Marco, what do you say?
Looking through that. Okay. So here's what we've always recommended. Your local is relative. So let's remember that. Because then once you're focusing on that, you're no longer focused on location. You no longer have one thing in mind when you're doing that, which is focusing on your city, so that you could then branch out to multi-location. Because what most people do is they automatically, like plumber in DC. That was a case study that we did. If you go and look, it's probably still number one in maps. But we had to push so much power to that it became the entity for the keyword DC plumber and plumber in DC, right? So in order to avoid all that, and in order to be able to expand outside of the DC area, what we said is, well, wait a minute. If we do a better job of branding, and if we do a better job of entity validation, like creation, validation, verification, and validation, then we should be able to just create a brand, whatever. And this is thinking about brands like Google and Yahoo and Sony and Samsung and whatever it is that you want to think about, the big companies, Amazon, where it started out as a bookstore and now it's like your neighborhood grocery store. You can go pick up anything in Amazon, and I mean anything. And so they did such a good job of branding that the Amazon is no longer a rainforest and it's no longer a river. Amazon is a place where you go and buy shit. You buy good shit, right? Or you can go buy cheap Chinese shit if that's what you're, or cheap shit from all over the world. But think about that. So focusing on that and focusing on brand, focusing on entity, then it allows you to set up whatever name, XYZ, and you will probably use the part of the keyword because it just fits, especially in the home services niche. You use your tree pros, right, Bradley? In whatever it is that you do. But that just makes sense. DC plumber, we use the plumber. In the home services, let's think of Roto-Rooter. It's related to the niche, of course, but not necessarily. And they just do a really good job of branding. So that's what we have to look at when you focus on that. What you can do in that branded stack is create that brand plus keyword relationship, so that it leaves you free to create an inner stack, which then focuses on location. That's the location stack. Now you can request the location stack without an additional G site, where we just expand the existing branded stack. I mean, we're willing to accommodate you in many different ways. Or you can just order an expansion stack that's location and keyword driven, right? So if you're in DC and then you want to go into Alexandria, you come and ask us for Alexandria plumber, for example, if that's your focus, and everything that's related to plumber in Alexandria, whatever it is that we can find if we're doing the keyword research. So that's the way that we've been teaching you to do it. Then the next city becomes a target for that, but always within the same branded G site and drive stack, because we want to add power to that. You don't see Amazon and Google, well, you do sometimes, but what they first did is they accrued so much power in the root that now they're able to create something like their Google My Business website in something separate from them, but it's always linking to Google. So what we want is that relationship and that relevance within that G site and drive stack. And you should be doing the same thing with your money site if you have a TLD domain, right? A top whatever the top level. I'm sorry, I forget, but it's just the .com, the .net, the .org, right? If you have a TLD, it can even be a .club. We're ranking realty. We're ranking just all kinds of stuff. It doesn't have to be .com, .net, or .org anymore. At any rate, the point behind all this is that you focus all of your power in one place, and you keep adding power to that place. That's what we do with the additional drive stacks. With the extensions, we add pages to that can focus on a city, or that can focus on services and city, or city and services. It's how we do it. It's how I've been teaching it since we first started, which is what, now we're working on 6 years, man, that we've been doing that. But that's the way to do it. Focus all of your power within one ecosystem, the same way that Google does it, the same way or has done it, the same way that Amazon does it, and everybody else in the space. You don't see them going and building, as long as it's related, different websites for different things. Not if it's one parent company. Look at Apple and how they do it. Apple is a fantastic case study to look at on how they branded the hell out of their website and their company, how branding is all out there, and how they've set up their website so that they focus all of the power and all of the energy within one ecosystem, instead of having it go all helter-skelter all over the place. And then you have to work out your schema on how this all fits together, how you have one parent and all of these children who are separate websites, yet part of the same brand. It becomes just mind-boggling how you have to do that, rather than if you just focus on this one thing, one drive stack, one G site, and you build power on that, and you keep building on it. You don't just stop, you keep building on it.
Yeah, simplify, right?
Yes.
Remove that addition, all that complexity from trying to add different web assets and all that. It's much better. So just to clarify, that's what I was getting back to was what I do with the branded stacks now. Like whenever I'm starting a new project, is I don't even, when I order the original SEO Power Shield, I don't like what I even put this in the instructions when I place the orders. I just want it branded. Like I'm not trying to create that keyword association with the original stack. In some projects that may be feasible, but in a lot of my projects, what I do is just now create the branded stack for like originally the G site and the drive stack are just optimized for the brand itself, because I'm going to build the site structure with all of the top level keywords as their own separate silos. So then I just go in and order RYS expansions for each top level silo or location. because the way that I build location silos are, again, they're kind of the same thing. So that's what I'm getting at. What Marco was saying was it's about building that brand, right? Google rewards the brand, and you build the authority into the brand. And then you can build out the expansion stacks, which become subfolders and subpages, essentially, or inner pages of the G site and subfolders of the Drive stack. And so, again, you mirror that same kind of structure that you have on your primary website within your entity assets. And that's really what works. It works incredibly well. So that's a really good question. All right, so we're going to move on next. Rocket Blaster comes up. He says...
Yeah, no, hang on. We missed one.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
No, I can't locate it. Oh yeah, the GMB listing question from Rocket Blast.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That was the next one.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
So we're done with the previous question, correct?
No, we never. No. Go up. Sorry, scroll up, because he added that question before GFall. There's a question.
No. That was
you don't see it, because I'm seeing it right after.
Oh, well, I don't see it. I'm sorry.
One more up.
He reposted it from last week. Go ahead and scroll up above Wayne.
Up.
Yeah, that one. Rocket Black, because he added it from last week. He added it again, so it's there twice for me. I have plenty of GMB listings. Do you see it? We didn't answer that.
Yeah, I see it, but that was from 7 days ago. But go ahead, answer it.
Well, he says I have plenty of GMB listings for towing services, all in a 100-mile radius with no websites, just using the free website from Google, the business site that they give you. What should I do to dominate each city my Google listings are in? I want to rank all the GMBs that are in prime cities. What MGYB products should I purchase, and in what order? Thank you. Well, that's a simple answer. We've set up the ordering process for you to order the SEO Shield. The SEO Shield, yeah, we just discussed it. So this guy, it kind of went backwards for GFall, because what you would do is, if it's already branded as a single towing service, right? So your company is, I don't know, Towers, whatever, or We Tow, however it is that you've branded it, you would then go and order the SEO Power Shield, which gets you that GSAT and that Drive stack that's focused on your brand. And then you would order an expansion for each one of the cities that you're looking to go into. Right. The MGYB process, the SEO Shield. And in fact, Adam, if you could put in there the SEOshield.com, which is free training, and it tells you how the process works. And at the end of that, as a matter of fact, we give you a coupon. You go through the process, we give you a coupon so that you can order your SEO Shield from MGYB. But we just talked about it in detail for GFall. I just wanted to get back to that because he posted it twice, or I see it twice on my screen. That's what you would do. We've set up the order. It's not as if you order the SEO Shield and you get it all back at once. No, you'll get the syndication network, you'll get the Drive stack and G site, and you get the ad ID. Each time something is built, it gets delivered to you and you get notified about it.
Very cool. All right, so now we're on to Rocket Blaster's first question. Yes. He says, can you have multiple websites all being hosted under one account? So I guess one hosting account, maybe? Example, if I had 20 domains under one account, would that be a problem in the eyes of Google? No, it depends. It always depends, right? It depends on what it is that you're doing with them. So for example, if you had 20 domains all hosted on one, IP address from one hosting account, and you were using them as like a private blog network or a link network to boost the, to build links to one of the sites within that same hosting account, then yeah, that's a huge footprint and that can cause a problem. But if you've got separate 20 sites that are like separate entities all, in and of themselves, then there shouldn't be a problem with that. Like, honestly, it just depends on what you're doing with that. If you're trying to use multiple domains to manipulate your SEO or your search positioning, then yes, that's a problem. But if you have 20 separate websites that are really unrelated, or it doesn't matter whether they're related or unrelated, but you're not using them in a way to try to manipulate search positioning, then that shouldn't be a problem at all. I don't know. Maybe I'm not interpreting the question correctly. What do you say?
Well, you can have a VPS and assign an IP to each one of those.
Yeah.
20 domains. But I mean, you have to go through so much trouble for hiding the damn footprints. It's not how we do it. If those, like Bradley said, if there's separate domains for separate things, well, I have several client VPSs, and I have several clients on one VPS, and that's never been a problem, because I mean that's what hosting is. Shared hosting is a bunch of domains on one server. The server just gets divided, right? It gets divisions and it gets files installed in the server. So I've never seen a problem with that. The problem becomes when you start interlinking those and start trying to manipulate Google, and Google catches the PBN, because then that gets de-indexed. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't even. Like nowadays, your links just get devalued to the point where they become almost useless. And it's the distance graph takes over, and it just you see diminishing return. So you have to go back and you have to keep working on those websites to keep them activity, relevance, trust, and authority. If any of those things are missing from those 20 domains where you're trying to manipulate, then you get diminishing return. That's how it works. And it's really simple the way that Google set that up.
Okay, so Will is up. Will, what's up, buddy? He says, how does dynamic content work? I have a client that ranks for multiple locations using content from a .NET database to feed the respective location fields and the page content dynamically. Pages are all .aspx. At the bottom of the homepage, they have listed about 60 locations. When you click on the city, the database fills out the appropriate content. Every single page looks like duplicate content except for the location content. So probably the location modifier itself or specific content for that location. However, this website is not getting penalized with duplicate content and ranking for a lot of locations. Why? Well, Marco, that sounds like a really good question for you, because that is touching upon the duplicate content myth or fallacy here often.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Well, people are still believing that there's such a thing as duplicate content, and there's there are experts and gurus and ninjas out there teaching that there's such a thing as duplicate content and that duplicate content can harm you. Let me tell you what I did, man. On Thanksgiving Day, a little bit before actually we started working on the content, we decided we're going to tackle a really competitive niche. So what did I do? I went and got together I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 articles, literally copy pasted from the #1 site and from the most authoritative site in the niche. So the #1 site may not be the most authoritative, by the way. And so I went and got the content and put it all together, slapped it on the G site, took content from that, put it in posts in the GMB, and you guys saw the results. I'm sharing it in the free groups, our free groups in Facebook, because I want to do away with the fallacy, with the myth that there's such a thing as duplicate content and that duplicate content can harm you. You can rank better than the people who originally posted the content, by the way. Whether it's ethical, well, that's another question altogether. I did it for the express purpose of proving that there's no such thing as duplicate content and that you can rank just as well or even better with so-called duplicate content. The content will be rewritten at some point so that it's original. So the question is original content and then copies of that content and how well that works. Well, it works really well. And mass page creating websites would not work if there were such a thing as duplicate content, and press releases would not work if there was such a thing as duplicate content, and places that aggregate content, Bing, not Bing, but MSN, Yahoo, Huff, right? Huffington Post, all of these places, all they do is they aggregate content. They take content from all over the web and they rank with it. So how in the hell can there be duplicate content? There can't be, 1. And 2, in this case, where you're delivering content dynamically, well, all you're doing is working with, you're tokenizing. So you can do this even with a WordPress plugin where you have the same template and all you're doing is flipping out the place names, and you can do perfectly well with that. That's called a mass page creator also. That's all it does, is tokenizing certain parts of the content and replacing it with the dynamic content. Dynamic meaning that's the part of the content that changes. You have the static, right, which is what you're seeing as, or you're considering duplicate, and then you have the dynamic that's delivered through a call according to maybe the person's IP. I mean, you can make there are so many choices that you can make, or so many options on how to deliver that dynamic content. We're doing that with Schema. We built a plugin for to deliver Schema dynamically according to the products that are on a page. So we just pull the information through the token, so through the variables. Actually, why is it ranking? Because Google is considering that it's authoritative. Google, it probably has activity, relevance, trust and authority. And I've always said, and this is a perfect example, the art of art beats anything that there is and overcomes any sort of penalty or negativity that you can think of from Google. The art of art, activity, relevance, trust, and authority.
Sweet. And we have the real BB is up next. He is asking his multiple questions as we would expect. He says, hi guys. Number one, what is tiered social signals? Is that just tiered IFTTT rings? No, and in fact, tiered IFTTT rings aren't really tiered social signals anyways. And we never claimed that they were. Tiered social signals would be like, for example, if you published a blog post and somebody were to share the blog post URL to their Facebook profile or page or whatever, and then multiple people would start commenting on that Facebook share or sharing that Facebook post, which was just a share of the blog post URL to begin with, that would be tiered, right? So, I mean, again, think about what tiered is. Tiered link building, for example, would be like, if you have a piece of content and you build links to it, that's tier 1 links. If you build links to those tier 1 links, that's tier 2 links, right? Does that make sense? So again, tiered social signals it's the same concept as tiered link building. It's just with social signals. And IFTTT rings or syndication networks, essentially, they can kind of produce like an initial mimicking of tiered social signals, but it's the actual social engagement that makes tiered social signals effective, if that makes sense. So number 2, can the shield complete with WebMD, excuse me, can the shield, so he's talking about, can an SEO shield compete with WebMD? Have we ever succeeded with that? So that's a good question for you, Marco.
Yeah, no, I said it. No, all right, come on, man. If you want to go take on Amazon, then you better have the budget to take on Amazon. You want to take on Google, you better have the budget to take on Google. I'm sorry, but the question is ridiculous. No, the fuck you cannot compete with WebMD. How long have they been around? They're the trusted, authoritative source on the web. So right off the bat, if this goes back to the Toronto DUI attorney, yeah. Two posts. I didn't rank my 2 posts for Toronto DUI attorney. Well, the fuck you did? Of course you didn't. How the fuck can you expect it to? You haven't established the relevance, the trust, the authority, or the activity to compete with WebMD. And WebMD didn't start out competing with whoever it was that they were competing. Amazon, if you think back on Amazon, when they started out, Jeff Bezos lost money, millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, every year he'd report a loss because he started out with just a bookstore. I remember seeing him in an interview. Yeah, we lost money. I think it was 100 million or 75 million. And yet people were gobbling up the shares of the company. I don't know if you guys remember that. People just gobbling up the shares that Amazon was offering. Now, they didn't become the go-to place in the e-com, right, niche until well after, and they dumped millions and millions of dollars into this endeavor. Google didn't start out beating Yahoo and whoever, Netscape and whoever else was around at that time. Google came out trying to compete, but they had millions in budget. They did the IPO and millions more to reinvest into the company. So if you're thinking, I'm going to order a $250, $300 product and take over where WebMD is, no, dude, stop it. You started your celebration early. What you can do is you can do what we're doing in the in our e-commerce case study that, and Rob is doing HVAC, by the way, what we're sharing in the Heavy Hitter Club, which is you go after a sector in the niche. We did it with oh fuck, I don't want to say the niche. We did it with an e-commerce case study, as a matter of fact, Dedia,
Yeah.
and his client, where instead of taking on Amazon directly, he went after a vertical in Amazon, and I think he took the client from, I don't know, 10, 12 million to almost 30 million. But the client had the money to invest. It wasn't just, okay, let's do an SEO shield. Let me see how many millions I'm going to make. It doesn't happen that way. We tell you, you do as little work as you have to do for maximum return. But that sometimes means we have to do press releases. That sometimes means that we have to link building, expansions, and everything else that we have to do to compete. If you want to go after WebMD, that's a $1 billion company. And it's going to require that kind of investment. What you need to focus on is a vertical in WebMD and seeing how you can start ranking in that and making money in that and then reinvesting it so that you can then challenge WebMD for that vertical before you go to the next one and the next one. I don't think it's logical to think that one SEO shield is going to allow you to take over from where WebMD is or where WebMD is.
Right on. Okay, so what is the next question? Because I am not seeing it. Stand by.
Oh.
That go back up there. I'm sorry. So BB is asking. Thanks, Hernan, by the way. BB is asking, what is going on with the new e-commerce stuff you do before? How long do you add the shield? We're still working on that, BB. Remember, none of us have been e-commerce guys. You know, I think all of us have done various like contributions to e-commerce projects over the years, but none of us have specialized in any of that or done any of that as like any of our major projects. So, but recently, Hernan and Adam went in partnership together with an e-commerce site. So we are looking at doing a case study with our methods applied to that. And so that's something that can't even give you an estimate on when that, case study will be available because it's new to us. So give us some time. We'll share details when we have it. Anybody want to comment on that?
Yeah, we're gonna potentially start during the beginning, like early January. We're going to start applying stuff and documenting. Like we're already documenting the paid side of things and the email side of things, and then we will start documenting the SEO and everything like that in early January. So,
okay, Marco, anything?
Yeah, as I said, we're sharing it in the Heavy Hitter Club, and you guys have seen the results of it. Now it's a lot easier to rank than it is to monetize because. I mean, you need a bank account to start monetizing. So we had to create the company to create the bank account, to be able to get in, for example, Amazon or whatever, to be able to make money from it. But you guys see, I mean, BB, just go to the free group. The images are there. I'm sharing the results in there. You don't even have to pay for those. You can see those. The results are there, and you can't argue with the data that Google gives you. Now monetizing that, once we have the bank account in place, that we can get all of these into all of these different affiliate offers and see where we start making money, or maybe we get so much traffic that it makes sense to run either media.net or AdSense ads and monetize it that way, or monetize it with a combination of ads, right? Display ads and affiliate offers. But the first thing is, of course, you have to rank in it. You have to get in there, and we're already seeing that. So now the next thing is just adding some nice buttons to get people to take action, and we will be sharing those. But that will be shared in the paid groups. It will not be available for free, because it's not free to us to do all of these things. You require money to start a company. It requires money to fund the bank account and all of the different things that we're doing. The SEO shields are not free to us because even though it's a lower cost, we have to invest our time into it, and my time is expensive. And so I would say that for the first year, I don't expect to net a penny from this effort. But after the first year, so I'm willing to make the long-term commitment to this. I see this as really it's a $1 billion niche that we're in, and I'm already seeing good results. And we're 30 days into the case study. I would put that in the win column any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Right on. So the follow-up question was how much traffic, what was the profit, what was the actual investment? Again, BB, we'll share more details when we have details to share about that particular project, which right now we don't have details to share. So next was, how long do you think the SEO shield will hold on? That's a good question. Well, it's going on 6 years now. So Marco, what do you think?
Like, we don't know. We don't control Google. When they take away G sites and drive stacks, we'll focus on something else. Right now, it's working really well. It's been working really well. And I mean, the whole foundation of G sites and drive stacks it's not the content. It's not the images. It's what you guys know, it's the iframe. And so when Google takes away YouTube and the ability to embed, then we might lose whatever it is that we're doing. Until then, we could just go somewhere else. If Google takes away G sites and drive stacks, we'll just go somewhere else and build them. And it's that simple. And we can drive power from other places. Other people are already doing it. And so it's not as if it's what do you call it? It's a great big secret. What you can do these things, that you can iframe, that you can embed, and that you can link build. As long as everything works through links. Hey guys, let me tell you, quantum is a long way away. Okay, they're making progress in leaps and bounds, but it's still a long way away. Once we're in quantum, it's going to take a while until you can teleport. You can actually teleport in quantum from one server to the other. And until then, what we're going to have is a connection from one server to the other. All Google is a server that has to connect to another server, and that's done through links. The way that you connect two nodes on the web, and especially the way that Google works, the PageRank and ranking score algorithms, is you connect two nodes through an HTML hyperlink, and you measure the distance from one authoritative source to the other, and how close you are to that authoritative trusted source on the web. That's how you develop a PageRank and ranking score. Until that changes, it's money. It's money. It doesn't matter whether the SEO shield, the way that it's conceptualized now, whether Google changes something that might change the SEO shield. We'll just change and adapt and go right along. I don't see anything hurting what we're doing, which is entity-based. So if you're focusing on the SEO shield, you're already focused incorrectly, because I'm talking about entity-based, worryless SEO.
There you go. Okay, so the next question. Sorry, I lost the screen again. All right, so BB was asking about the 2021 forecast, and I think Iowa SEO was also asking about that in a question further down. So, Marco's the SEO guru of our group. I would love to hear what his thoughts are about SEO for 2021, but I can tell you what my thoughts are as kind of somebody that straddles both SEO and paid traffic now, because of ART, right? Activity, relevance, trust, and authority, and so much of that can be accomplished with paid traffic now. And I'm all in on paid traffic because of what I've been able to achieve recently in the last month or two with YouTube ads, especially. But Google ads, period. The audience targeting is it is just the amount of improvement that has occurred within Google ads with audience targeting, intent-based targeting, and that kind of stuff it's just incredible. And it has opened up a lot of doors for my own business, my own agency. In fact, I'm working on the biggest project, digital marketing project that I've ever worked on in my entire career right now, which I can't disclose any of those details right now, but it is the biggest project I've ever worked on, and I'm trying to systematize it so that it will be a major cornerstone of semantic mastery in our training, at least for the mastermind anyways. So, and what I see as a huge opportunity in 2021 is utilizing the opportunities that Google gives us with both SEO, but also with paid traffic to really manipulate art, right? Art, activity, relevance, trust, and authority. And it's like they're giving us the keys to the kingdom. And with YouTube and display network ads, especially, you can buy very, very inexpensive traffic, engagement signals, essentially from highly targeted, highly relevant audiences. These are Google users that Google has placed in buckets that defined audiences, or you can define your own audiences using custom audiences. And we've been experimenting, me particularly, I've been experimenting with using paid traffic to augment SEO efforts for the last couple of years. And within the last few months, especially, I've seen significant progress because of the audience targeting improvements that Google Ads has made. So for me, I'm going more and more into paid ads for 2021 to complement my SEO efforts. I'm not minimizing or reducing any of the stuff that we're doing with semantic mastery methods as far as entity-based SEO. What Marco and Rob are discovering and developing for entity-based SEO is absolutely critical for 2021. But using paid traffic to augment all of that, I think is really that's kind of the direction that I'm going in for 2021. More of that will come. I'll reveal more of that in the coming months. Marco, what do you say?
I mean, as far as SEO is concerned, AI is going to continue playing a bigger and bigger role, but it's nothing to be scared of. All it is code. It's code looking for variables. We can feed it the variables we want, which is what we do. That's what the Heavy Hitter Club is focused on. And as a matter of fact, the SEO Shield, RYS Academy Reloaded, has always focused on the fact that I understood as soon as Google said, we want the bot to learn. We're coding the bot to learn. The bot is coded to learn. Well, I understood, well, fuck, if it's coded to learn, then it's going to need variables, and I can feed it the variables that I want to have it understand what I want it to understand. That this is the big problem with AI, that it has human coders who cannot predict how that code is going to be used. So understanding that, understanding how Google is coding the AI to learn, and how the AI is then set loose to fill in the variables for everything, especially the entities, and how we can then form this entity ourselves and create what's part of that entity and what's a valid part of the entity. More importantly, then it's just, I don't know, it's a done deal. It's a slam dunk, because then we can create our own entities the way that we see it, and we can fit the mold better because we're creating the entity, or we're adding to the entity and the variables that Google will be looking for. And where others are missing it and we're not, is where we'll be able to really make a dent in the space. We'll really be able to make a difference in those spaces where people are just not filling in the blanks like we are, filling in the variables and giving Google the variables that it's looking for.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay, so the next question, scroll down a little bit, Hernan, please. The GMB service coming back to MGYB. I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe Marco has a better answer, but Marco, what do you think?
We're working on it.
Yeah, it's difficult, guys, because of all the changes Google's making, and sometimes they're on a warpath or rampage, and so it's difficult. They're trying to combat spam, which I don't blame them. So Jim Duff,
yeah, those damn spammers.
Yeah. Jim says, hey, gang, I have a really quick question, probably obvious question. Should the branded drive stack use a company's primary Gmail address? Does this put the account at risk? Thanks. I hope everyone is having a safe holiday season. No, it's not necessary. Again, so if you order a drive stack or, SEO PowerShield or whatever from us, we'll go out and create it with a brand new Gmail account that we set up. And that's perfectly fine. What we suggest is, and typically, like, for example, for every project now that I set up, I always set up a G Suite account, or now it's called Google Workspace, right? It used to be G Suite, but now it's Workspace. Anyways, I always set up a paid Google account for every new project, period. End of story. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I have the Drive Stack built underneath that G Suite or Workspace account. I order it through MGYB just like you guys do. I swear to God, I don't have any of our network builders or Drive Stack builders or anybody work for me outside of MGYB anymore. Like I literally put all my orders through MGYB. So I do it just the way that you guys do, but I don't get a G Suite account. Like I don't provide them with those details when I order the Drive Stack. They build it under a new Gmail account that they create. Mm-hmm. And when they deliver the finished product to me, then I can go in and I log into that Gmail address that was created for the Drive Stack order. I log in to bind it to my IP, which is what we instruct you. Like when we send the delivery email, we provide you with instructions to do that, bind it to your IP. So I log into that account and then I add the G Suite account, right? So the main entity Google account as a manager, or I share it for in the case of Drive Stacks, I share it, give permissions to that G Suite account. So then I can manage it through the G Suite account, but it's technically owned by the original Gmail account. That's perfectly fine. That won't cause any problems. And that's in fact how we suggest that you do it. Any comments, guys?
No, that's exactly how the email goes out. Don't ever go back in as the owner. Use the manager.
Yeah. And the same thing goes with the Google Sites, guys. You can go to sites.google.com and you can share it with your G Suite or Google, your primary branded Google account. Again, I highly recommend using G Suite or Google, now it's called Google Workspaces, for all your primary entities. But again, you just share it, give permissions, and then you can edit the G Site from that account as well. Okay, so Iowa SEO asked what the biggest SEO opportunities for 2021 were. We just answered that. Walt asked for just goofing around with DC Plumber and found the Twitter account was suspended, just FYI. Okay, I didn't affect Google rankings because I just checked. But yeah, okay, cool, thanks. Roger Blaster said, okay, that was, I guess we didn't answer the question. I think Marco resolved that. So BB says, did you take over the entire tree services in the US, or are there more places left? So I'm sure that's a question for me. No, baby, trust me. I haven't even scratched the surface. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Do you guys realize how much opportunity there is out there? Like there is a big blue ocean of money slopping around out there. And, I've been in the tree service industry generating leads and doing SEO for tree service contractors since 2012. And I haven't even scratched the surface. Are you kidding me? It's funny, but the huge project, I'm not going to disclose what the project is, but I'm trying to scale my agency for tree service stuff like considerably in 2021. And I just did a huge search for the building a prospecting list of tree service contractors in Virginia. And all I did was target the top 20 cities in Virginia and did a scrape search for, prospecting lists essentially. And it resulted with over 950, it was like 958 or something tree service contractors. And after I cleaned the prospecting list for, again, this was just the top 20 cities by population size in the state of Virginia, I had over 950 tree service contractors. And after deduping the list, cleaning it, getting rid of non-relevant, contacts within the list and all that kind of stuff, I ended up with over 700 contacts in the state of Virginia alone. So think about that. If I were to prospect aggressive, which I'm going to prospect aggressively to all 700 contacts in the state of Virginia alone, just tree service contractors, and just get 1% of them, right, as clients, that would be 7 new clients for one state, right? Do that times 50 states. Think about that. That's 350 clients. I mean, so my point is just think about the opportunity out there. Anybody that thinks a market, I mean, there are certain markets that are saturated, but my point is there are a lot. The United States is a great big area. So, 50 states, if I were to be able to just develop a prospecting contact list of 700 tree service contractors times 50 states, that's 3,500. Excuse me, is that 35,000 or 3,500? My math is off at the moment, but that's a huge opportunity nonetheless. So no, Have I taken over that niche? Absolutely not. There is plenty of room in there for others to join that same industry or enter that same market. Any comments on that?
No, man, because it goes back to the WebMD question and whatever. To go after the entire tree services market in the U.S., you need the budget for it. I mean, it's not, I don't know, Bradley, about you, but it's not something that I want to invest all that money in. You put all your eggs in one basket. And a lot of those, if you drop that basket, you're in trouble. I focus on more different revenue streams. And I'm not interested in owning any one specific market. I'm after a certain income level where I can just give away most of the money. That's what I'm focused on.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for everybody being here. This was the last Hump Day Hangouts of 2020. By the way, a big FU to 2020, middle finger. Let's put this shit in the rearview mirror and look forward to 2021. I hope it can. I would say it can only get better, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So God bless everybody. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We hope you all will join us next week for the first Hump Day Hangouts of 2021. Let's kick next year's ass.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everybody.